Good morning, everyone. This morning we are going to elaborate the philosophy of our own Chacha Nehru, who is said right after the liberation and massacres between majority and minority in which millions of Hindus and Muslims, both brethrens, both colonial cousins, were slaughtered. At that time, while giving the speech, Pandit Nehru said, India has nothing to worry about communism from China, from Russia, but India certainly has to worry about communalism. Communalism means disdain between Hindu, Muslim, between majority, minority in India. We are living as a sandwich between China and Russia. Both are communist nations. But we have least to worry about their political system. They are not going to impose on us. They are not going to hegemonize Indian democracy. Nothing to worry about. But we certainly have to worry about our own people. Certainly have to worry about internal communalism. Certainly have to worry about massacres erupt from inside, not outside. We certainly have to worry about our within issues, not without issues. So, 75 years later, we still see the same kind of scenario has been rolling on. Unfortunately, Indian Muslims and Hindus have not actually cultivated any kind of succulent ties, not any kind of friendly ties, no any kind of fraternity or brotherhood, not any kind of hobnobby or any kind of pal-ship. But during last 75 years, unfortunately, the relations have actually gotten more sour. The divisions have been widened. The gap has been broadened. And the hatred, the disdain, the despise have been deeper during 75 years in the current era than it was in the previous era. I have actually prepared 4 points elaborating Pandit Nehru's philosophy about communalism and communism. Communism is a socialism that China and Russia practice. That is communism. Communalism means a Hindu-Muslim practice in India or black and white practice in America. Point number 1 is burgeoning disdain between majority and minority. Majority and minority means the Hindu and the Muslim in India have been developing, cultivating, fanning and fueling their negative feelings, negative emotion, negative sentiment, negative energy against each other. They don't live together, they don't work together, they don't actually go places shoulder to shoulder. They have been distancing themselves everywhere in the schools, in tuition classes, in government offices, in private offices, even in the neighborhood and in the city. They do not try to cultivate closeness, but they have been cultivating distance between both the communities. And what will happen in the future, short future, near future, like 10 to 15, 20 years from now, is what Pandit Nehru has actually propounded in his speech 74 years ago. Point number 2 is government plays totally negative role by fueling and fanning this kind of discrimination, this kind of prejudice, this kind of hatred, this kind of disdain, and this kind of abhor. Government doesn't try to patch up things. Government does not try to bridge the gap. Government does not actually propagate, profess, or propound any kind of moral lesson to both, that both of you are colonial cousins, both of you are the sons of the soil of India or sons of the soil of India and Pakistan. We should live as a good neighbor in neighborly fashion, and that is also our religion says that neighbors should live like neighbors is also religious gospel. Neighbors should never fight. It's a sinful thing in religion in the eyes of the God. But here 74 years of constant skirmishes with Pakistan, and neither Pakistan nor India try at all to diffuse this kind of tension, nor India, inside India, Muslims and Hindu try to diffuse any kind of tension and create some kind of common relationship in which we all can live like fraternity, like brothers. Point number 3 is majority religion-centric education system. Look, it is education. It is education that teaches us everything positive, and it is education that teaches us everything negative. As soon as the child is about 3-4 years old, he goes to school and learns everything great or gory from his or her teacher. Teaching comes in the school. That's why they say charity begins in school. Charity begins at home. So parents are also feeding their kids this kind of anti-religious sentiment, and school teachers are also feeding their students that kind of anti-religious sentiment. So when the child grows up, he grows on the feeding of anti-Muslim or anti-Hindu sentiment. Muslim students at home, in madrasa, in mosque, in school, everywhere they have been taught all kinds of gospels, all kinds of sentiment which are negative sentiment, anti-Hinduism and Hindus. If you talk about Hindu students going to temple, going to ashram, means a commune, going to anywhere, they have been taught anti-Muslim gospels, Muslim sentiment is instilled in their heart. Point number 4. Systemic and systematic gore is practiced by both the side of the aisle. Systematic and systemic gore is practiced by Hindus as well as by Muslims. I'm not sitting over here and blaming on one side and depending on the side. No. Both the sides are just equally accountable, equally responsible for this kind of gore spreading. They've been spreading this kind of hatred, this kind of disdain, this kind of despise for each other. That is why whenever we see that the big crowd is there in which Hindu and Muslims, both kinds of students or both kinds of people are present, but you are never going to see that hobnobby would be there or mixing or mingling would be there between both. But you are definitely going to find that Muslims are distancing themselves from Hindus and Hindus are distancing them from Muslims. They have their own group that they are mingling with. Muslims have their own group they are mixing and mingling with. It is a silent hatred. But remember, silent hatred always can develop voice. It can become vocal and it can become violent. Look at America. America is the most educated, most learned, most erudite and most scholarly nation on the face of this planet, and still what is going on, you see that. Every couple of days you will see the mass murder in which 8, 10, 15, 20, 30 people are gunned down by a single person. Just yesterday, the person working for the enforcement agency, government enforcement means a police or CIS agency or FBI agency, killed 3 people and is still roaming loose. Everywhere they have been chasing, police has been chasing him. He is roaming around the neighborhood, in the city, nobody knows where he is, and he's going to kill some more people. Look, that hatred has been going on for last 225 or 245 years. Now it has become vocal. When I was in the state at that time, I have never witnessed or never experienced or never had heard or watched these kinds of mass murders in America. Never, ever in the last 20 years that I spent over there. But today, every single day, you open your news channel and you're going to find out that 10 more people are gunned down and 20 more people are massacred. What is this? Hatred grows. Someone has said that everything grows. Everything grows in us. Love grows as well as hatred grows. So if we love someone, eventually we love more and more and most. And if you disdain someone, hate someone, hatred also grows and you're going to hate more and more. Eventually, you're going to plan to wipe that person out. You're going to plan to murder this. You're going to plan to kill that person. Your hatred started from for example, from the 0. Now it has gone to 100%. Your love started from the 0 and it went to 100%. So remember, we have to learn something out of this video or audio. And remember, this is only the thing that can destroy our nation. God forbid. Thank you very much for listening. See you again tomorrow. Until then, God bless every single terrestrial on this terrestrial. Amen.